Hey, welcome back to the Ministry Podcast. My name is Marco, and today is July 9th. It's starting to heat up out there here on the Texas Gulf Coast, and we're on episode number 48. And I wanted to talk to you today about burnout. I'm out in the heat. I'm in between a job right now. I'm about to head back out there, and I know, I mean, feeling the heat and my devotions lately have been going through Job, and I've been looking at in Acts as well, and looking at the two scriptures makes me think about times where you get really low and like emotionally and physically get really tired and burnt out, and so that's something I wanted to talk about a little bit today and share with you some of the experiences that I've had, because I know that anytime someone has in any kind of uh, ministry or any kind of help that they're a part of, even with family and friends, there are times that your role, your normal role, something that would not bother you or something that would not be a big deal, can bring you to that, just to the brink of saying, I quit, I'm not going to do this anymore, I want to totally walk away. And it could be little things, and sometimes it's hard to tell when each other are in that position or right on the edge, and or sometimes someone is hurting or has stumbled a little bit and you can't tell. Everybody else is like, I'm okay. And it reminds me of one time when I did in intermediate, I played football in seventh and eighth grade, and I remember one time we were doing. You hit the sled. There's a sled with the four football pads, and you go up and you take the turns. And the first one you hit, and then you drop down and you roll over, and then you get up again, and boom, you hit the next one. And then you do the same thing. You drop down and roll over, and someone is coming in next to you, and you're following the guy beside you. And so as I was going, it was either the third or the fourth sled. The sled is heavy, but all four together, when you hit it, boom, you lift the whole thing up, and those dummies go back and into the sled, but it lifts the whole thing up. And so it must have been on the third one that I had tripped, and as I was rolling over, I was regaining my footing, and when I came back up to hit the sled, everybody else had already let go. So I had the full weight of the sled come down on me, and I wasn't even up all the way. And I remember it just feeling like it crushed my neck and like compacted my spine, and full weight of the thing come down and just smash me. And if you would have asked any of the other guys, they'd have been like, no, it was fine. But because they were focusing on their, what they were doing, they didn't see that I had tripped and stumbled and actually was getting hurt by the sled. And I remember being dazed and just trying to get up and trying to play it off, because in eighth grade you don't want to look bad, and you're macho and everything. But it reminds me of ministry sometimes, where we try not to look like we need help, or that we're struggling with something, and something that the weight of something can really be stressing us or hurting us, and really bearing down on us. But I want to encourage you that there are ways that you can go to, and there are things that you can do to get away from that feeling and that emotional weight or stress. And if you think about it, I'm going to read here in Matthew 8. It says, verse 23, then he got into the boat and his disciples followed him. Suddenly a furious storm came up on the lake, so that the waves swept over the boat. But Jesus was sleeping. The disciples went and woke him, saying, Lord, save us, we're going to drown. He replied, you have little faith, why are you so afraid? Then he got up and rebuked the winds and the waves, and it was completely calm. And the men were amazed and asked, what kind of man is this? Even the winds and the waves obey him. I just wanted to point out that in this critical time in the disciples' lives, uh, that Jesus was sleeping, and I think it's important that we kind of note that there are times when the disciples were looking for him and thinking, well, he should be here right now, and they go and find him, and he was in a solitary place, and I think that's part of the model that Christ gives us of rest, that regardless of what ministry, and Jesus had the perfect ministry, you need to take the time to rest. And I encourage you guys that if you're in ministry, to find a hobby, to find something that you can do that has nothing to do with ministry. If you're into sports, watching a football game, if you're into reading, finding a good book to just get your mind off the ministry, and really just recharge yourself, and really be able to lift yourself back up. And for some of you, find it just going and hanging out with a friend, and getting some coffee and just talking about things really makes a difference. And I want to encourage you guys that it needs to happen, because even Jesus didn't do ministry full time. He found time to go on his own, to get by himself, and to recharge. And we need that from time to time. So don't burn out. If you have trouble, talk to someone about it and make sure and get some rest. Jesus, in this case, was sleeping in a hard time. And when we get tired, it's really easy to want to quit. So make sure you get enough rest, and as well, find something that you can do that you enjoy outside of the ministry and outside of the things, the daily grind that you do, outside of work and these things, because we all need that. We all need time to recharge. And when we get that, the stuff that may have seemed hard just moments before, it doesn't seem so hard, and the Lord will help us through it. So email me at marco@theministrypodcast.com. Find me on Facebook, the Tumblr, the Twitter page, and YouTube channel. Subscribe and let us know what you think. Hit the like button, give us a thumbs up, and we'll love to bring you more new content. I've got a few videos coming through, and more podcasts that are going to be doing some interviews, so I'm really excited about them. You'll be seeing them soon, and we're looking forward to hearing from you guys again. God bless you.